Kajabi is the industry standard everyone and their mom is using to host their course. Skool is the platform everyone, including Alex Hormozi, is saying is the easiest way to have a monthly recurring revenue for selling a course. These are two amazing platforms, but which one is better? Which one should you sell your online course on, Kajabi or Skool? I wish the answer was simple, but it's not. Because I did a ton of research to compare Kajabi and Skool across 5 critical categories: community engagement, gamification features, user interface, course creation tools, and live event capabilities, all to see which one is the best. In this video, I'm gonna be giving you the answer to whether Kajabi or Skool is the best platform to host your online business with, as well as the comparison factors that went into making that decision. Now, don't think this video is some biased affiliate marketing nonsense. We're affiliated with both of these platforms equally. We host our 8-figure Amazon FBA info product on Kajabi, as well as a free and paid Skool community with over 1,000 people in it. And we love both of these platforms and have equal affiliates with both of them. So this video will just the raw truth from my perspective of using both of these platforms to make millions of dollars by selling an online course. Now, speaking of affiliates, I do have the hookup with both of these platforms, so you can get either Skool or Kajabi for one of the best discounts on the internet when you use the links in the description. So if you're gonna get either one of these platforms, you might as well get them using those links below, because you will save a bunch of money compared if you would have to get those platforms normally. Now, I'm gonna give a 100% in-depth breakthrough to whether Kajabi or Skool is the best host to your online course. This way, you will be in the best position to generate revenue for your business. Because in the heart of every info product business is a platform to host your course on. So choosing the right platform is really important. I have a buddy of mine who chose the wrong platform for their online business, and it was really the biggest pain in the neck ever to transition their entire course to another platform. It cost him thousands of dollars and took weeks to fix. So picking the right platform from the get-go of your online business is more important than what most people think. But luckily, you clicked on the right video, because right this second, I'm gonna be revealing to you whether Skool or Kajabi is the best for you to host your online course or your coaching business with. So make sure to smash that like button, and let's start with the first comparison factor of features and tools. First, let's take a look at Kajabi's community features. Kajabi recently made a huge leap forward by integrating Wavely, which is a dedicated community feature that brings in a social feed, direct messaging, and engagement tools like leaderboards, challenges, and meetups. On the surface, it seems like Kajabi has everything you need to build a highly engaged online community. The feed on Kajabi is structured similarly to that of LinkedIn. It is an unfolding list of posts where members can engage with each other through comments and reactions. It does allow for private groups, which means you can create exclusive communities where only certain people can access your posts. This could be a great feature if you want to separate discussions for different coaching tiers or membership levels. But despite these upgrades, engagement on Kajabi communities tends to be very low. Many creators report that their members are simply not as active as they had hoped. Even with leaderboards and point systems in place, participation often feels a bit forced. Now let's compare that to Skool. Skool is designed from the ground up for engagement. Instead of feeling like an afterthought, Skool's entire model is built around the idea that learning should be fun, it should be interactive, and it should be social. The community feed is simpler than Kajabi's, using a card-based system where users click into topics that interest them. Instead of long, messy comment threads, Skool likes to keep discussions structured and easy to follow. One key difference between the two platforms is how they drive the engagement. Kajabi's engagement tools like points and leaderships are mostly static. Users earn points, but these points don't do anything. There's no real reason to care about them beyond simply climbing a leaderboard. Skool, on the other hand, gamifies engagement in a meaningful way. Instead of just showing who's winning, Skool's points actually unlock content. As users participate more by commenting, interacting, and helping others, they earn points that level them up, granting access to new courses, new modules, or private sections of that community. This is a really cool feature because it incentivizes the students to engage with each other and allow them to have a more active community feed. So now let's go over the pros and cons of each platform when it comes to community engagement. Here are some pros of Kajabi's approach to community engagement. Now, Kajabi's gamification elements such as points and leadership can motivate learners to actively participate in the community and help others. The platform's challenge feature allows course creators to set up specific tasks or prompts for learners to complete and share with the community, which fosters a sense of accountability and collaboration. Kajabi's Meetups feature enables course creators to also host live video sessions, webinars, or Q&A sessions, which provides great opportunities for real-time interactions and engagement. However, there are a few potential drawbacks to consider. The separate community area in Kajabi might feel slightly disconnected from the main course content, which could impact the flow of engagement. Some learners might find the back and forth between the course lessons and the community area a bit difficult to use, potentially reducing their overall engagement. On the other hand, here are some pros of Skool's approach to community engagement. Skool's action posts allow course creators to embed prompts or questions directly within the course content, encouraging learners to reflect, share their insights, and engage with their peers in a more contextual manner. The platform's point system rewards learners for completing course milestones, participating in discussions, and receiving likes on their comments, which creates a gamified and incentivizing learning experience. Their seamless integration of community features within the course itself really creates a more organic and natural flow of people connecting with each other, as learners can interact with each other while progressing through the content. However, some possible disadvantages also need to be considered with Skool. The lack of a separate community area might make it harder for learners to find and engage with discussions that are not directly related to the course content. Some course creators might prefer a more structured and distinct community space, which Skool's integrated approach might not provide. When it comes to community engagement and interaction, Skool is the clear winner. While Kajabi has made significant improvements, Skool's approach is simply more effective at creating active and engaging communities. Now let's talk about gamification, because this is where Kajabi and Skool take completely different approaches to keeping your community engaged and active. Kajabi has implemented some basic gamification elements into their platform. When members participate in your community, they earn points for activities like completing lessons, joining discussions, or finishing challenges that you've created. These points add up and place members on a leaderboard that everyone can see. It is a simple system that's designed to create some friendly competition. Skool, on the other hand, has built their entire platform around gamification. Their founder comes from the gaming industry. He helped create League of Legends, and that expertise shows. On Skool, members earn points that unlock actual levels, and those levels unlock new content. It is designed like a multiplayer game where progress feels meaningful and rewarding. So let's analyze the pros and cons of Kajabi's gamification approach. The first pro is that Kajabi's point system provides a clear way for learners to track their progress through your course. Members can see themselves advancing, which creates a sense of accomplishment. The next pro is their leaderboard feature, which really adds that element of friendly competition that can motivate some members to engage more actively. Another pro is the flexibility for course creators to design custom challenges and set point values, giving you some control over what behavior you want to reward. However, there are some cons with Kajabi's approach. The first con is that the points members earn are essentially pointless. They don't actually unlock anything or provide any tangible benefits beyond leaderboard position. Another con is that Kajabi's gamification feels somewhat static rather than integrated deeply into the learning experience. It's there, but it doesn't fundamentally change how people interact with their content. The last con is that their system may not appeal to all learning styles, particularly for members who are not motivated by competition or public recognition. Now let's look at the pros of Skool's gamification approach. The first pro is their multi-layered system that combines points, levels, and unlockable content, creating a more engaging and immersive experience that feels like playing a game rather than just taking a course. Now tell me if that doesn't motivate you to go in and finish more course content. The next pro is that points actually matter. They help members progress through levels that unlock real content, making the rewards tangible and meaningful. You also earn points as you engage more in the community, which allows the community to be more active and engaging. Another great pro is how the system naturally encourages consistent engagement. Members want to keep participating to see what's next, which leads to better learning outcomes and community building. The last pro is that Skool's approach taps into intrinsic motivation, that internal drive to progress and achieve, which trend to create longer lasting engagement than external rewards. Having said that, Skool does have a few cons to consider. The first con is that their more complex gamification system might feel overwhelming to some learners, especially those who aren't familiar with gaming mechanics. Another con is that course creators need to think carefully about how to structure their content to work with the leveling system, which requires more planning upfront. So when it comes to gamification and incentives, to me, Skool seems to be clearly the winner. While Kajabi has made efforts into incorporating game elements, Skool has built their entire platform around making learning a fun, multiplayer experience. The difference is like comparing a basic point system to an actual game. One keeps score, but the other creates an experience that people genuinely want to participate in, and that's what really matters. Now I want to compare the user interface and experience of Kajabi and Skool, because how your platform looks and feels can really make a huge difference in how engaged your community becomes. Kajabi features a clean, modern design that prioritizes simplicity. Their interface is uncluttered with a clear hierarchy that guides learners through the content. The navigation is very intuitive, which makes it easy for members to find what they need without getting lost. When you first log in, you will notice how professional everything looks. It has that polished, corporate feel that some course creators really appreciate, and it looks like a very polished, user-friendly website. Skool takes a completely different approach with their interface. They have designed a more immersive, community-centric experience that feels more like a social platform than a traditional course site. Everything in Skool is built around interaction, so the course content and the community features are seamlessly integrated rather than separated. So when you log in, you immediately see activity happening on the platform, which creates that sense of being part of something alive and dynamic. It almost feels like you've joined an active community forum. Now let's break down the pros and cons of Kajabi's user interface. The first pro is Kajabi's clean, distraction-free course player that lets students focus entirely on your content without unnecessary elements that are competing for their attention. The next pro is they have well-organized dashboard that gives learners a clear overview of their progress, which means upcoming assignments and recent access content, which helps them stay on track. Another great pro is their intuitive navigation that makes it easy for even the least tech-savvy member to find their way around without getting frustrated or confused. However, there are some cons with Kajabi's interface. The first con is that their design can feel a bit generic and corporate, lacking that personality and warmth that helps build community connection. Another con is the separation between course content and community areas, which really creates a disjointed experience where learning and discussion happen in different places rather than flowing together naturally. The last con is that Kajabi's feed is somewhat unfolded and cluttered, similar to LinkedIn, making it harder to follow conversations and engage with other members' content. Now let's compare that and look at the pros of Skool's user interface. The first pro is their dynamic course feed that blends the learning experience with the community feed or the community forum, creating a more engaging and social learning experience where everything happens in one place. The next pro is that Skool's action posts feature that allows members to engage directly with prompts and questions with the course content, which really makes learning more interactive and collaborative. Another pro is their clean card-based design that makes it easy to scan and find relevant content. The last pro is how Skool's gamification elements are visually integrated throughout the interface, which constantly reminds members of their progress and motivating them to keep engaging. Having said that, Skool does have a few cons to consider. The first con is that their feature-rich interface might feel overwhelming to some people, particularly those who want to be a minimalist and learn alone kind of environment. Or maybe the course that you're creating is not made to be interactive, or having a community forum is not relatively important, which leads me to the next con, and that is that some of the social nature of the platform means that there's always going to be something happening, which could potentially distract some people from focusing deeply on the course content. When comparing these two interfaces, I would definitely say that Skool wins for community building and engagement. Their design naturally encourages interaction and makes learning feel more like a social experience than a solo journey. Kajabi's interface is perfectly functional and professional, but Skool's approach simply feels a bit more live and engaging, which is exactly what you want when building an active learning community. However, if you're looking to create a course that you don't want to have an active community in, then Kajabi could be perfect for you. Let's dive into comparing how Kajabi and Skool handle course creation and integration with your community. This is crucial because how easily you can create courses and how they connect with your community directly impacts your members' learning experience. Kajabi really offers a robust course builder with plenty of customization options. The platform is really user-friendly and lets you organize your content into categories, even subcategories, and posts, giving you complete control over how your course is structured. You can upload videos, audio files, PDFs, and other media types to create a multimedia learning experience. Kajabi also includes features like quizzes, assessments, and completion certificates to make your course more interactive and trackable. Skool, on the other hand, takes a different approach with their classroom features. Their course builder is more streamlined and focuses on simplicity. So all courses on Skool kind of look the same. You can organize your content into modules and lessons, but the standout feature is how Skool integrates courses directly into the community experience. Instead of separating learning from discussion, Skool blends them together, making the learning process more social and interactive. Let's analyze the pros and cons of Kajabi's course creation tools. The first pro is their comprehensive drag-and-drop course builder that makes it easy to organize and structure your content exactly how you want it, even if you don't have technical expertise. The next pro, and it's really a big one, that Kajabi supports for a wide variety of media formats, which allows you to create engaging and diverse learning experience that caters to different learning styles. It really makes you customize the learning experience process to how you want it. Another great pro is their advanced automation features like drip content and email sequences that can keep learners progressing through your course at the right pace. The last pro is their professional-looking course player that creates distraction-free environment where students can really focus entirely on the content. However, there are some cons with Kajabi's approach. The first con is that their course content feels isolated from the community features, which really creates a disconnect between learning and discussion that can really reduce social learning opportunities. And another con is that Kajabi's course builder, while powerful, can still be a bit overwhelming for beginners with its many options and settings, if we compare it to Skool. The last con is that customizing your course design to match your brand perfectly can be time-consuming, which requires more setup work before you launch your course. However, if brand identity is something that is important to you, this could be a pro. However, if you're looking at speed and launching your course very quickly, then that's a big con, because it does require time to build your course. Now let's take a look at the pros of Skool's course creation approach. The first pro is their simple, intuitive course builder that lets you get your content up and running quickly without any steep learning curve. The next pro is that Skool's innovative action post feature that lets you build prompts and discussions directly within your course content. This makes learning more interactive and collaborative. Another pro is how courses appear in the community feed when members engage with them, bringing attention back to your content and encouraging others to participate. The last pro is that Skool's social learning approach naturally increases engagement and knowledge retention by making learning a group activity, because you can help others, which allows you to retain more knowledge, but also allows you to ask questions and get more feedback from the community. And this is way better than just a solo experience, in my opinion. But Skool does have a few cons to consider. The first con is that their course builder offers fewer customization options compared to Kajabi, which you really cannot design your course according to your brand. It's not going to look like it's your own brand website, which might limit how you can present your content. Another con is that you need to host your videos elsewhere with services like Wistia or Vimeo, whereas Kajabi includes video hosting. The last con is that Skool's streamlined approach might not be sufficient for creators who need very complex course structures or advanced assessment tools. So when it comes to course creation and integration, Skool wins for creating an engaging social learning experience, while Kajabi offers more customization and features. Skool's approach of making courses as a part of the community conversation leads to better engagement and participation. The way Skool brings learning into the community space rather than separating it or creating a more cohesive experience that keeps members coming back and interacting with both the content and each other. It really builds more memorable experiences and allows people to feel like they are part of a more active experience. Now for the last comparison feature, I want to talk about how Kajabi and Skool handle live events and recordings, because these are a crucial part of building a community engagement and creating those real-time connections with your members. Kajabi offers an integrated meetups feature that lets you host live sessions directly within the platform. Kajabi automatically sends email reminders to your members, which really helps in boosting attendance. The platform provides a dedicated video streaming room that is always available. It's like having your own permanent Zoom room that members know how to find. And after each session, Kajabi automatically records and uploads the video for you, making it instantly available to anyone who missed the live event. Skool takes a different approach to live events with their calendar feature. Rather than providing built-in video streaming, Skool integrates with third-party tools like Zoom or Google Meet for the actual video sessions. You can schedule events through Skool's calendar, but you will need to connect your preferred video platform to handle the streaming part. After your event, you will need to manually upload any recordings if you want to make them available to your community. So let's analyze the pros and cons of Kajabi's live event features. The first pro is that they have an integrated video streaming room that eliminates the need for third-party tools, which makes it incredibly simple to host live sessions sessions without juggling multiple platforms. The next pro is that Kajabi's automatic email reminder system sends out multiple notifications before each event to maximize attendance and engagement. Another great pro is how recordings are automatically captured and uploaded after each session. This saves you time and ensures no content is lost. The last pro is that all your live events and recordings stay organized in one place within your community. It makes it really easy for members to find and access any past content. However, there are some cons with Kajabi's approach. The first con is that their built-in video streaming lacks some of the advanced features that you might find in dedicated platforms like Zoom, such as breakout rooms or advanced hosting controls. Another con is that Kajabi can send quite a few email reminders before the event, which some members might find excessive or a bit spammy. Now let's look at the pros of Skool's live event approach. The first pro is that there is flexibility to integrate with your preferred video platform, which allows you to use the tools that you're already comfortable with and leverage their specific features. The next pro is that Skool's clean calendar interface makes it really easy for members to see every upcoming events and add them to their personal calendar. Another pro that I like is that Skool takes a less aggressive approach to event notification. It only sends just one email the day before, which some members might prefer. But Skool does have few cons as well to consider. The first con is that after a Skool event, nothing really happens automatically. If you record the session, you will need to manually upload it somewhere and make sure that your community has access to it. Another con is that managing events across multiple platforms adds a bit of a complexity to your workflow, requiring you to switch between Skool and video platform. And the last con is that Skool's more minimal notification system might result in lower attendance rate compared to Kajabi's multiple reminders. When it comes to live events and recordings, I think Kajabi is the clear winner here. Their integrated approach makes hosting live sessions nearly effortless, and automatic recording feature really makes sure that valuable content is always captured and made available to your community without any extra work. Now, while Skool's calendar feature works really well for scheduling, the extra steps required to manage the actual video sessions and recordings really create unnecessary friction or what could be a smooth process. So after comparing Kajabi and Skool across all of these categories, which platform comes out on top? Let's tally up the results. For community engagement, Skool was the clear winner with its more interactive and engaging approach. For gamification and incentives, Skool dominated with its meaningful point system and level-based rewards. For user interface and experience, Skool won again with its more social and integrated design. For course creation and community integration, Skool clearly took the prize here for making learning a more social experience. However, for live events and recordings, Kajabi finally scored a win with its seamless integrated event system. So with a score of 4-1, Skool is the overall winner in this comparison. But here's the thing, the best platform really depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your online community. Kajabi could be a better choice for you if you're looking to create a highly engaged, interactive learning community where members actually talk to each other and participate regularly, then Skool is the clear choice. Its gamification features, social learning approach, and integrated design all works together to create an experience that members genuinely enjoy being part of. On the other hand, if you need a comprehensive, all-in-one platform with a robust marketing tool, email automation, and more traditional course delivery system, then Kajabi might be the better fit for your business. After all, it's been around longer and it offers more features outside of just community building. But regardless of whether you choose Skool or Kajabi, make sure to use those discount codes in the description so you can get both of these platforms for the cheapest price possible on the internet. So use those links in the description and claim your discount codes. And as always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.